conservative market solution to climate change?
Well, so the question was about climate change. A couple of things. You know, people ask, I do think that human behavior, if people ask me, does human behavior impact the climate? I'm sure it does. Now, how much it does, the consequences, I'll leave to the experts and the scientists. But I will say this when it comes to policy. I'd say two things. One, I think you can have a strong economy. I think you can have affordable energy, and I think you can protect the environment. I don't think they're mutually exclusive. The problem I've got is this president seems to think you can't do all three. He wants energy to be expensive. He wants it to be scarce and expensive so the government has more influence over our lives. For example, on energy policy, I'm for an all-of-the-above approach. I come from a state that makes a lot of oil and gas, but we also build components for the nuclear industry, and we've also got a company that does some work for the wind industry. We've got one of the nation's first biodiesel refineries. We're also heavily involved in the renewable fuels and the biofuels. I'm an all-of-the-above guy. And I think that's good for our economy, good for our national security. I'm for the Keystone Pipeline. I'm for all of it. I think it's good for our economy. It's good for our economy. My concern is this president has gone to China and negotiated a deal where we have to hurt our economy in the short term. They don't have to do anything until the long term, and then it's not even enforceable. And let me give you a specific example of why I think that's dangerous for our economy. So Nucor wants to build a big steel mill in my state, back in my first term. Ultimately, 5 phases, $3.2 billion investment, 1,250 permanent jobs. Average pay $75,000 a year before benefits. Now, these are good paying jobs, 4,800 indirect jobs. Most of these jobs don't require a college degree. These are jobs you can raise a family on. These are good paying jobs. So we convinced them that they should build in Louisiana. They were looking at a bunch of places. We convinced them, spent a lot of time with them, went to their headquarters, actually went to one of their plants, met with their CEO, and then the election happened in 2008. And they got worried about what the EPA might do. So Nucor told us, well, wait a minute, we're not sure we're going to build this project in America. We're thinking instead about going to Brazil. Now, whatever your beliefs are about climate, how in the world does it help the environment for that steel mill to move that facility from America to Brazil? I would reckon our laws are tougher than theirs. So it's actually worse for the environment. It's certainly worse for the economy. That's 1,250 jobs, 6,000 total that are going somewhere else. It took us a couple of years. We worked with them. We finally convinced them they could still build in America. We would work with them and help them against the EPA. And they did. They've already completed the first phase. Now they're looking at timing on the future phases. So my point is, if we're going to take any actions, it needs to be in concert with the countries we trade with, the countries we compete with. You know, this idea that we're going to allow China, they've added more incremental coal capacity than our entire coal sector in recent years. All of the growth in emissions is actually coming from the developing world, not the more advanced countries. So if we're going to do anything, we've got to do it in concert with these other countries. Otherwise, all that's going to happen is the energy-intensive industries are going overseas. And the good-paying jobs are going with them. We'll do nothing to help the environment, and we'll hurt our economy. And in Louisiana, many of those $60 billion are actually in companies like fertilizer, steel, petrochemical industry. CF Industries is investing $1 billion in Iowa. They're investing $2 billion in Louisiana, in large part because of the shale revolution. Now, we used to export fertilizer. Then we got to a point where we started importing fertilizer. Now companies are spending billions of dollars to restart and expand fertilizer plants. That's good for farmers, but it's also good for our economy as well. So I think a conservative approach says you can have affordable energy, a strong economy, protect your environment, and secondly, that we shouldn't do anything that unilaterally harms our economy to the detriment compared to other countries we compete with, including China and other countries. Let me close with this. And again, like I said before, I'm more than happy. I'll stick around for folks that want to come up that didn't get a chance to ask their questions or want to take a picture, just want to visit, whatever you all want to do.